Hey, the Culture Proof Conference registration is open. Culture Proof 2026 is happening at the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter. 3 days of impactful conferencing and delightful family vacationing all rolled into one.
Yes, cultureproof.net. All information you can find there. Make sure you use the code so you can get the early bird special. Man, it's going to be a great time. And for me, it's going to be my family reunion. I love it. I look forward to the family reunion every summer. And so go to cultureproof.net to get the details about CP 2026.
Yeah, when he shows up with those leather closed-toe sandals.
Uncle Will.
Then you know Uncle Will. Uncle Will is on the scene. Don't miss out. Cultureproof.net, cultureproof.net. Click on the tab that says Culture Proof Conference 2026. You'll see who the speakers are. You'll see who's been invited. This year's theme is Living Epistles, so you know what this is going to be all about. We hope to see you there. But I feel like what we do in the American context as it pertains to our kids is we secure our mask and then we leap over our kids to run to the front of the plane or the back of the plane to go help somebody else. And it's like your kid is sitting right next to you. Secure his mask first.
Yeah.
Like once you get your kid set up, that's right next to you. It just defies logic. We wouldn't do that. And we're like, well, I mean, that's a matter of life and death. I'm like, yes. So in our illustration, when we're talking about the gospel and proliferating the gospel, is that not a matter of life and death? Are we not talking about life and death? But people don't believe that. They don't believe that. They're just looking at all of the things. I want my kid to be a genius. I want my kid to be this. It's like, what do geniuses do in hell?
Come on.
Like, what do geniuses do in hell? What are you contributing to eternal destruction that it was worth it now? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, are we going to boast of our brilliance in eternal damnation? Are we going to boast of our brilliance? Well, I have a Harvard scholar. What's a Harvard scholar in hell? Like, what do you think is the moral end of I don't know, human depravity? Like, what do you think is where people reach the max of their wickedness and they just kind of get tired of themselves? Like, does there ever
I don't think there is
come
an
an end like that?
No.
You need an external force to step in.
Yes,
and
even
put
then,
down that rebellion, right?
Right, and even then, I think wickedness loves to press in,
Yeah.
beyond that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an end that one would come naturally to and say, okay, this is enough.
Yeah, we're too evil.
Oh man,
We're too evil.
the heart.
That's
terrible.
What we're going to talk about. We're too evil. Like, our culture is too evil. Our kids are affected by it. But praise the Lord, though, we can't see self-regulation, right? We need the Lord.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord that we have the Lord.
Amen.
This is Culture Proof.
Every single stronghold, we pull them down. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out Culture Proof. I'm Miki.
And I'm Will.
And today, this message is brought to you by the letter R for run. Run away from the public school system. Get out, get your kids out. I think sometimes what we are seeing, you think, how many different ways can we talk about how messed up the public school system is? That the public school system is built on an ideology and a thought that parents are unnecessary and that kids are useful tools that need to be shaped. And then if you can have as much time with them, you can shape and train them for your future use. All of the things that we see happening in the culture today, I think, are just depictions of that sentiment, that the school system is doing exactly what the school system intended to do.
Yeah.
And that is to say, not educate our kids, but to indoctrinate and to train them for wicked and nefarious purposes.
When you talk about these, because we've talked about the school system for years.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, shown different things that have happened and why, and made compelling, I would say, arguments about
I think
it.
so.
But I don't think those arguments are strong enough to come against parents' sometimes apathy or need for comfort. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I really feel like no matter how you begin to report on it and whatever other evidence you bring in, it seems like it's nothing compared to well, I can't do anything else, or the
Mm,
feeling of I'm not an expert, or
yeah,
the feeling of I don't want to lose, my comfort, or how are we going to do, like, I don't know if it really grabs us,
yeah, yeah,
and I don't know, I don't believe it's because parents don't love their children,
yeah.
but I think we love not having to do certain things
Mm.
more.
Oh, man, that's so scathing, and I don't disagree with you. I think you're absolutely right about that, and I think anyone who would be upset with you would be upset with you because you accurately pegged them.
Mm,
I don't think that a person would be upset with you because it's inaccurate. I think a person would be upset because you put your finger on the issue, and that's painful.
mm.
It's painful to think that we have preferred things over our children while thinking that we're putting our children first and
Yeah.
even being conditioned to believe that we're putting our children first. I came across this article and I thought, man, I don't know. You keep thinking that you reach the epitome or like the height of the, I don't know,
Depravity.
moral depravity, the rank decay
Yeah.
of the public education system. You think that um, kids being so demoralized and so mentally destabilized that they are willing to take the lives of their classmates and their own lives.
Mm,
You think that that's sort of like that's as bad as it gets, and then you see that the schools are willing to lie to the parents and confuse the kids and do that believing that they are the saviors, they are the rescuers, they're the ones who are swooping in to bring peace in the midst of turmoil. And all of these things are building and you just think, "Man, I don't know if we can get any worse. I don't know if we can go farther down the toilet. Like I don't know if we
right.
can swirl, before it's just completely emptied." And then you read news headlines like this one, parents angry as Virginia high school faces probe of minors abortions.
Ugh.
And you're like, "What?" Before I get into this article, I want to say thanks to BJU Press Homeschool. Okay. We educate our kids at home. We do that on purpose. Nobody forced us to do that. We are not a part of some sort of like multi-generational like homeschooling family. We just saw the writing on the wall. We're looking at where our kids were being educated and we're looking at the competing ideologies and then we're re-educating them when they got home. And so we were like, why are we doing this? So we made the decision to homeschool our kids. We prayed about it, yes. And I gotta tell you, mostly it was for strength. It wasn't to know whether or not we should or shouldn't do it. It
Mm,
was for strength to do it. Like we had the conviction that we should have the lion's share of time in our kids' lives. And the prayer was, Lord, help us to do what we're convicted that we have to do.
mhm,
And that is to disciple our kids. If that's your conviction, don't deceive yourself by saying, well, I'm just praying if this is what the Lord wants. Pray that the Lord will give you strength because I think when the Lord reveals what he wants you to do,
mm.
often we lag behind because we're afraid,
Yeah.
because we're nervous, because we've never done this before, because we have this idea that what we've always done is working. We say these things to ourselves like if it's not broke, but it is broken, right?
Right.
Like it
Right.
it is it is it is messed up and our kids are feeling the effects of that in increasing measure. Get your kids out. Homeschool them today. Today you can make the decision, you know what? I'm not sending you back. I'm
Mm,
not. I'm going to bring you home and I'm going to trust the Lord to number 1, provide for all of our needs. Number 2, strengthen me to do it. Number 3, equip me. Equip
mhm.
me to do it.
Right.
God has entrusted these kids to us. We got to get them out. You can contact our friends today at bjupresshomeschool.com/culture-proof. When you follow that link, it'll be your way of letting them know that the Addison sent you and we are sending you. Get
Mhm,
your kids out of the school system. There's something that is revealed that is the heart and the spirit of the public school system, and it's making enemies of the cross. I don't care how your kid identifies, like your kid says, I'm a Christian.
mm.
The public school system is making enemies of the cross. Come fight me. Like that's, I mean, like really. Now, here's the story.
Mm,
In what has become a chilling unearthing, Fairfax County Public Schools in Virginia has launched an investigation into Centerville High School for accusations of arranging and funding students' abortions back in 2021. Okay, so while we are all convinced that we're going to die, while we're all like trying to figure out, okay, how the kids go back and all of these things and what's best for the kids and what's best for the teachers, you have this happening. All right,
mm,
here we go. This news was first revealed by WC Dispatch Substack, and it sparked outrage among parents, pro-life advocates as well, and concerned citizens, raising serious questions about parental rights and school overreach. Like, okay, so we'll be great.
Yeah.
When we say raising serious questions, it sounds like we're at the beginning of a usurpation.
Right. This has been happening for a long time now.
Like, what do we like? Stop. Even in this, and I appreciate it. This is written by Sarah Holliday over at the Washington Stand, which is the Family Research Council's news outlet. Like, and it's great, you know. But even the wording, and this is not intended, right? But the wording is gaslighting to me. That it's raising serious questions about parental rights and like school overreach. Like, no, it's not raising questions. Like, the questions have already been raised. Now it's escalated. It's like, when are we going to step in and see that the school believes that your kids belong to them? And I'm going to tell you, there's an additional level or layer to this story that I have not seen expressly, laid out in the articles that I have read with this, but I'm going to lay it out. I think they don't want to say it, but
okay,
I'm going to say it.
Well,
okay.
We're culture proof.
So look, come on, grabbing edges. Here we go. I'm going to go back to this article and then want to volley over to you to get your thoughts on this. According to reporting from local news outlet WJLA TV, the ABC affiliate in Washington, one of the two girls involved was only 17 years old. The report went into further detail. Quote, one girl underwent the procedure. This is a forced abortion. This is a forced abortion on a 17-year-old student. Okay. Oh, here we go. One girl underwent the procedure at 17. The other, 5 months pregnant and pleading to keep her baby, bolted from the clinic after social worker Carolina Diaz allegedly told her she had no choice. The social worker. Okay, so here's the thing. Who's coming for the social worker? Because the social worker's coming for the parent all the time. Like, who's coming for the social worker? Yeah. Okay, like, this is child abuse. So like, do we have a file on Mrs. Diaz? On Ms. Diaz, do we have a file? Okay, who's coming for the social worker? Okay, here we go. Then principal Chad Lehman, the girls insist that the principal of the school at the time knew and that taxpayers footed the bill.
Wow.
There is a handwritten statement from the first student that's been translated for clarity, and it lays out how Diaz scheduled the appointment, paid for the clinic's fees, and swore the girl to secrecy.
Wow.
Okay, there was a second girl, as I mentioned before,
a
minor, who was 5 months pregnant, but she was wavering on this. Like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to keep my baby. But she was told, you have no choice. Well, when both of the girls end up at the clinic, the second girl bolts, runs out so that they will not end the life of her preborn child. Okay, there's wickedness, and then there's like wickedness. Right? Like, imagine that. So now, under the guise of helping these girls, because we have a culture that sees the murder, the taking of innocent life as healthcare,
right.
You can now force these girls to receive quote unquote healthcare.
Well, the question of who's coming from the social worker the answer should be the parents.
Yes.
Like, and man, so they do this thing to where they, like you say, it says sworn to secrecy. Don't tell your parents.
Yes.
Don't tell anyone.
Yes.
And it's like, man, that's a dead giveaway. Like, that's, and man, that I feel like that policy, or however that is put forth, should be abolished in the schools, where it's like, don't tell your parents.
Yeah.
Like, what?
No. And so what's interesting, this particular school, and according to this article, the school district did not have a secrecy policy on this particular action. Like this now, and again, I'm not defending the school, because we know the
principal went above that and said, and swore this girl to secrecy. This principal did this.
The social worker. The social worker
okay.
did this, but the second girl, who was 5 months pregnant and did not go through with the forced termination, said that the principal knew that this was going on.
Knew it was going on.
Yes, and didn't intervene. Didn't step in.
Well, I mean, it seemed like he not only did not step in, but like,
was for
gave her access to do it. Like,
absolutely, 100%. So this, the reason we know about this is that this girl later confided in
second
her,
girl.
the second girl
Mhm.
confided in her teacher, a woman by the name of Mrs. Zenaida Perez, who actually wanted her name to be used in this and wanted to be on the record
Mhm.
because she was privy to the information firsthand where the parents were informed and the parents being distraught over what happened and saw this as egregious. So, usually these people are like,
Mm.
they fear retaliation, they fear
Mhm.
losing their jobs, all of these
And
things.
she was like, "Put my name on
Put
it.
put
Put
that's
me
that's Zenaida with a Z.
catch me outside."
Cash me outside, come fight me. Zenaida with a Z. Okay. And so, anyway, there is this scramble now that's happening. According to this article, Fairfax County Public Schools claim that they had no prior knowledge of these actions, but they have, and you can rest assured, they've launched an immediate investigation into this. Superintendent
Oh, wow.
Michelle Reed addressed the allegations in a letter stating, quote, "I want to stress that at no time will the situation as described in these allegations be acceptable in a Fairfax County public school."
Hmm.
Okay.
Now, isn't Fairfax County the place where the parents rose up, and is that the same?
Yes, Fairfax County parents were a part of the uprising of like, we need to get our kids back in school, pushing back against the masks and all of that. But then it was Loudoun County that made the most noise
Mm.
as far as protecting kids, as as it pertains to the gender bias and
Yeah.
and gender specific bathrooms and things like that. It just seems like Virginia has had its share of like,
Yes.
subversion of parents, which is why they were so thrilled to get Glenn Youngkin as their governor. Like, I mean,
Oh, my
to just
goodness.
turn things around for them. But this is egregious. Like,
Yeah.
this is, this is one of those things where you say the overreach. Well, overreach seems like too mild a word,
Mhm.
right? Like, this is mental
it's-
trauma. This is the
crazy.
forced taking of innocent life.
Mhm.
And you've got a 17-year-old girl. So you don't have to sink into that summer slump. Keep yourself healthy all summer long by focusing on your nutrition. Check out our friends at weheartnutrition.com. We've got third-party tested supplements that are tested for purity and potency, so you know that your body is actually going to absorb the nutrition that you think you're getting. Stop wasting your money on supplements that look good on your counter but do nothing for your body. And also invest in a company that gives 10% back to crisis pregnancy care centers all across this country. Visit our friends today at weheartnutrition.com. That's weheartnutrition.com. When you use our promo code CULTUREPROOF, you will save 20%. Check them out today, weheartnutrition.com. So now here's the thing that I think is important to note. The victim statement was written in Spanish and then translated to English.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a statement here.
Go ahead.
And
Culture proof.
okay. When I read this article and then I saw the screenshot of the victim statement,
Yeah.
where she gives in her own words her account of what happened back in 2021. It's written in Spanish, translated into English. I thought this is a revelation of what our country, among those progressives, those elites, what they really think of immigrants and immigrant children, right? Like, there's a picture of you guys are dehumanizing, you guys don't, but I think that's a projection. I think they are projecting on to people who want things like secure borders and want kids to not be, working in meat factories. I think it's a projection. I think these people really don't value immigrants except for what they feel like advances their cause, right? And so if you've got two girls, and I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that both of these girls are Hispanic, and it seems like the social worker Carolina Diaz and even the teacher Zenaida Perez, I don't know, okay, I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it seems to me that we are dealing with almost like there's something ethnically afoot that we don't want to address. Like, and I'm not reading that in any of the articles, and maybe they're just like, because we're reporters. Okay, that's good, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you, when I read something like this, I think here's the question that I ask, and maybe I can be careful by just asking the question. The question that I ask is, was this done to those girls because they are Hispanic?
Mm.
And was it believed that, yeah, the parent, I mean, right? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, that's my question. Like, if you've got a 17-year-old who is writing her victim statement in Spanish, okay, that's telling me a lot.
Yeah.
That's telling me a lot. And it's telling me possibly it's telling me even more about the parents. Okay? So what is the belief? I don't owe them anything. Okay? Like they don't matter to the extent, like I don't believe, well, I hope, and you know, anyway, I can't say. I was going to say I don't believe that this would happen to any other ethnic group in this country. I think second generation immigrants to this country
Mm.
may be illegal. Maybe first generation illegal. I don't know. I think that's they would be victims of this type of malice.
Yeah.
That's my thought. And it's not a popular thought. I know it sounds like I'm normalizing partiality or making everything about ethnicity, but I think there's a glaring piece of this story that is just being overlooked. Like, where are the bleeding heart liberals? You see, because the liberals often face a conflict. They often face a conflict because of their ideology, because it's not a solid ideology. So there's a part of them that they are like, yes, we need, abortion on demand, and we need women to, be able to have access to this, and whatever, at whatever cost. But then also they're like, oh, the immigrant, oh, oh, people, and where's our humanity? And so then there's a conflict. Those two views come into conflict with one another. And about one of our sponsors, Accountable to You.
Jesus is Lord. In public and in private, every area of our life must be subject to his lordship,
including our use of technology. What captures our attention on the screen either glorifies or dishonors the Lord. That's why Accountable to You is committed to promoting biblical accountability in families and churches.
Their monitoring and reporting software makes transparency easy on all your devices, so you can say with the psalmist, I would not set anything worthless before my eyes.
Guard against temptation with Accountable to You and live for God's glory. You can try it free today at accountable2you.com/cultureproof. That's accountable, the number 2, YOU.com/cultureproof. We've already signed up, protecting our family, and we invite you to do the same. Visit them, accountable2you.com/cultureproof. And what won out in the Fairfax County Public School System is that we don't value babies. We don't see life as God sees life. And so these girls are not, I mean, they don't have, you don't have any right to say anything. I mean, the social worker told the girls that they had no choice.
Wow.
Like, think about this. One of the girls, the one who escaped. Now, remember, one had the abortion performed on her. 17. The other, who escaped, was 5 months pregnant. Okay. Like, at 5 months pregnant, you start to feel your baby moving around. Like, at 5 months pregnant, you like, I mean, but we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
That's evil.
Yeah, it is
That's evil.
It is evil. And it's another reason why, that whole system need to be abandoned, and I know, I would guess we're speaking primarily to Christians, but I know there are people who are not, they may be watching or whatever. But man, if not now, then when?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this conversation goes on and on and on and on with different points being made, different examples. And this is another example. But like, at the bottom line is, okay, so now what will you do with the information, right? But this is definitely wicked. And man, to see how all in the school system is, this particular one with that agenda. You have the principal who knows what's going on, but he's like, hey, you have social worker, you have all these pieces, and it's like, man, you do have a teacher that's like, look, that's not right. I'm putting my name on the roll.
Yeah, praise God for her.
Praise God for her. But man, at the same time, how does this happen in our schools? Like, how does and parents are pretty much just xed out of
Yeah.
the equation. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have to know anything. They don't need to know anything. We want to make them and keep them ignorant. And that's why if you're going to have your child in this context, you have to be like fully
Yes,
engaged, because stuff
100%.
like this can happen and you would have no clue.
No.
It's amazing.
I think back again, and I'm going to do this periodically, but like to weave in some of the history of our church, of what it is to be a believer, the context that we exist in,
Mhm.
that we just don't know about. And one of the great debates early on in the history of the church was on the education front, if you can believe that. And it was Tertullian who was making the case that not only should our kids not be educated by pagans, but Tertullian actually believed that the teachers should not teach in a pagan system because the beginning of the knowledge is wrong.
Mm.
So like, because we've made, and I'm not making that case today, please. I think we need teachers who are missionaries. I'm not making that case. I think we need teachers who are missionaries. I think if you're called to teach and you see yourself as a missionary, you will be most effective. Your children are not missionaries, by the way.
Right.
That is a disastrous lie. Your
And
children are not missionaries.
And I'll have to say on that point, I agree that I believe that there are some called to go into that system and represent the light of Christ. But I also believe that there are some who are in that system right now who God may call out to help other work, that, schools at churches or something
Yeah.
like that would be able
Yeah.
to thrive with qualified teachers to be able to come in. I think there's going to be a leaving of that system to say, hey, man, no, the household of faith. Like,
Yes.
what do we need to do to make
Yes.
sure that our kids are properly educated? And so I think it goes both ways.
Well, you got to keep in mind the Christians didn't isolate in early Roman society of their own will. Like they
Mhm.
were forced out of early Roman society.
Mhm.
They weren't just like, hey, we don't like you guys. Like it was, man, what we believe is incompatible with the cultural norm.
Mhm.
What we believe can get us killed. What we believe can get us pegged as an enemy of the state. Hey,
Mhm.
guys, look at that. Like
Mhm.
what we believe makes us an enemy of the state. It makes us an enemy of everything that is quote unquote normal around us. And so the Christians found a solace and they found encouragement in their midst, like
Yeah.
among themselves, where we all have common beliefs, where we're able to discuss that among ourselves
Mhm.
and to pass that on to our posterity.
Mhm.
Like we are in that sort of like, that's the T that we're in, where we come to this cross where it's like, either you're going to, stand up under, right?
Mhm.
Or you're going to cower. And I think that's the tension that has always existed. And it's a tension right now. Like,
Yeah.
and I think to your point, you will have some teachers who are like, I cannot teach from a text that begins with the denial of God,
Mhm.
that he doesn't
Right.
exist.
Right.
Now, there are some teachers who will say, well, I see myself as a missionary, so I'm going to infiltrate
Mhm.
and I'm going to do what I can to rescue some of these kids. I think both are good.
Mhm.
And I think we need to be open to both. But I will firmly say your 5-year-old, your 6 or 7-year-old, for some of us, right? You would look and you say, my 13-year-old is not showing fruit, not producing fruit. So then you don't have a missionary. You don't have a missionary.
Right.
You have a patient that's in the same clinic as everybody else over there,
Mm.
getting the same treatment as everybody else.
Yeah.
And so if you're not honest with yourself, you keep your kid there, then don't be shocked at the results. I'm just saying, do what God is calling us to do. Number one, he's calling us to make disciples.
Mm.
The promise that Peter talked about on the day of Pentecost, he said, this promise is for you, it's for your children, and everyone else afar off that the Lord your God will call. And the promise is for you, is for your children. There's some of us who are way more comfortable getting to the everybody else afar off that the Lord our God will call. And like, we're like overlooking our kids. I used to use this illustration all the time. It's like being on a plane and you start to lose cabin pressure, like air
Mhm.
pressure in the
Yeah.
cabin. And it's like being there and getting the notification that you've got to secure your mask. And The flight attendants always tell you, they prep you. We all know it. It's like secure your mask first, then the mask next to you. Like if somebody needs assistance, because number one, if you're incapacitated, you ain't helping nobody. Right.
Right.
But I feel like what we do in the American context as it pertains to our kids is we secure our mask and then we like leap over our kids to run to the front of the plane or the back of the plane to go help somebody else. And it's like your kid is sitting right next to you. Secure his mask first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like once you get your kid set up, like that's right next to you. It just defies logic. We wouldn't do that. And we're like, well, I mean, that's a matter of life and death. I'm like, yes. Yes. So in our illustration, when we're talking about the gospel and proliferating the gospel, is that not a matter of life and death? Are we not talking about life and death?
Yeah.
But people don't believe that. They don't believe that. They're just looking at all of the things. I want my kid to be a genius. I want my kid to be this. It's like, what do geniuses do in hell?
Come on.
Like, what do geniuses do in hell? What are you contributing to eternal destruction that it was worth it now? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, are we going to boast of our brilliance and eternal damnation? Are we going to boast of our brilliance? Well, I have a Harvard scholar. What's a Harvard scholar in hell? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, what? I don't understand. And now look, and I want to say this too. You can have a Harvard scholar if you want and still have one that's heaven bound.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that those two things are mutually incompatible. But what happens often is that people will shoot for Harvard. They shoot for Harvard. That's the aim. Like that's what they want. That and people will lie about it. They're like, no, we want our kids to know Jesus. And I'm like, okay, well, show me how you're working toward that. Show me what you invest in your kid that your kid would know Christ. Show me. And then the words fail, right? But if I say, show me how you are setting your kid up to succeed academically. Oh man, they got reams. They got reams. Well, we started in the Montessori school and then we started working with all of the new, and then I enrolled in this and I did that and I bought this and I did all of these things to set up for temporal success. And then I'm like, and what of Christ? And what of Christ? These stories that keep coming out, I really believe that they are the agitation that parents need to make the decision that God is calling them to. And I think you can resist it. You can say, well, no, I don't feel moved in that way, but I think it's still an agitation.
Yeah. I agree.
Whether we give into it or not, something is being provoked in us. What are we going to do? They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your kids. When we resist the cultural trends that rival the truth, we remain culture proof. Until next time, Lord willing.
God bless.
Hey, if you like this video and value the content, then go ahead and like the video. You can subscribe to our channel if you want to do that as well. Feel free to comment. We try to read all of your comments and we try to respond to most of them. Of course, if there are too many, then it's hard for us to get to them. But we value interacting with you. So thank you so much for being a part of the Culture Proof community.
Also, click that notification bell. That bell will let you know when a new episode drops.
I think as parents, we assume that kids are going to just know the right way to do things. You have to teach them first and then train them by teaching them to do it over and over again until they actually get it.
Imagine trying to teach your child how to tie his shoes without the practice principle. If the practice principle is vital for teaching such morally neutral task as tying shoes, how much more important is it for training children in Christ-like character?
I speak to parents all the time who come up to me and they see what's happening, but they don't know what to do. And I just want to stand up and say, you can do this. Here is a solution.
This is Yvette Hampton, host of the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast. Join us each week for a new episode as we offer encouragement and resources on biblical discipleship from popular speakers and authors, as well as parents just like you and me. Find out more at schoolhouserocked.com or listen anywhere you find your favorite podcast.